there's kind of three factors that Weston Price talked about. If you don't know who Weston Price is, look him up online, westonprice.org. He wrote a book in the 1930s, and he traveled around the world and studied native populations all over the world, all over North America. He lived with the Eskimos. He went to Fiji. He went to Africa. He went to Switzerland. There was like some people that live in this valley in Switzerland where they were cut off from the rest of Switzerland by some natural like formation where people like didn't leave, and they had like grass-fed cows, and they drank like raw milk, and they made cheeses, and all the things that they ate were really high in fat-soluble vitamins. And he went and studied all these cultures and found that they had all their 32 teeth grew in, every single one of them, including their wisdom teeth. So you have 32 teeth, and all 32 teeth grew in straight, and they all had room, which means you have a really large dental arch when that happens, and your head is really big and round. And what he found was that the generations of these people who left, or they started eating processed sugar and processed flour, alcohol, etc. So like Native Americans in our continent would be a great example. He studied native cultures, and then he looked at them generationally and how their cranial formation and their dental situation changed. And he found that it got worse and worse. So your teeth got crowded, your dental arch got smaller, your cranial shape got smaller and more narrow, and you were not in robust health. And not only that, you were more prone to infection. So tuberculosis was a big one back in his day. So none of those native tribes where people lived on their ancestral diets had tuberculosis. They did not contract tuberculosis. They were able to fight it off. They also had no chronic disease. So there was no diabetes, there was no insulin resistance, there was no heart disease, there were no neurological disorders, and there was no mental disease. These things were almost impossible to find. He literally said in some tribes in Africa, he found like one cavity in 2,000 teeth. And he would go to like a town close to there where people were eating refined foods and refined grains and sugar. And it was like each person had like over 10 cavities in their mouth.
The cool thing that I saw, like he had a bunch of photos.
Oh my
Like he had
gosh.
taken a bunch of photos of these fellas, these men, and bang, they're ripped out of their marbles. I mean, how old were some of those photos were of like guys in their 50s, 60s.
The guy in the middle must have been, I bet you he was 60.
They look like
he
they spent their life in the
He
gym.
had a full head of hair. He looked like you right now. Full beard, full head of hair. It was kind of grayish white from the picture. I don't know if it was in real life. But he looked older, his face. His body looked like they had put on a fake body
Chiseled
and
it
chiseled
out.
with an 8-pack and pecs, deltoids, biceps. And the two guys standing next to him looked exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not exactly sure what tribe that was, but he was saying like these people were of any tribe, they were in like amazing physical health. They had no illnesses, and even older women and older men, they were in incredible shape.